Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for October 20, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, St. Catherine taxi driver arrested in Manchester after telecoms cable theft. A St. Catherine taxi operator has been taken into police custody after he and two other men were allegedly caught stealing telecommunication cables in Christiana, Manchester on Friday morning. The police source said the 37-year-old taxi operator was held about 4:30 a.m. when a security guard with the help of the police thwarted the theft. On Wildman Street, the police and the security guard observed a white Toyota Probox with the trunk open and the two men loading the wire into the vehicle. Two of the men ran. The police were able to intercept the operator of the vehicle, said the source. The vehicle and the cables were seized. Construction worker killed in Bog Walk. The St. Catherine police have launched an investigation into the murder of a man whose body was found in Pineapple Lane, Bog Walk in the parish. The police have identified him as Kemar Kison, otherwise called 10 Days, a 28-year-old construction worker of Cooley Lane, Bog Walk. It is reported that about 7 p.m. Thursday, Kison was returning from a grocery shop in the community when explosions were heard. Residents later discovered his body and summoned the police. The police say on their arrival, they observed what appeared to be gunshot wounds to Kison's head. He was dressed in a purple shirt and gray shorts with a mosquito coil on his chest and had no shoes on his feet. Manchester woman charged with a cop husband's killing remanded again. The Manchester woman accused of the murder of her husband, Constable Damian Blair, during a domestic dispute at their home in May, was on Thursday further remanded until October 23, when the case was mentioned in the Home Circuit Court. Casey and Blair is facing charges of murder, unauthorized possession of firearm and ammunition. Her case was mentioned for a forensic psychiatric evaluation, which was ordered to be presented. Ms. Blair's attorney, Tamika Harris, had informed the court previously that her client had been receiving psychiatric treatment at the Mandeville Regional Hospital prior to the murder of her husband. The accused woman, who spent 13 days in hospital after the murder, was at the time of the incident found locked inside the house with what appeared to be self-inflicted wounds to her wrist. St. Elizabeth lockup escapee found baby mother charged. Another of the 8 inmates who escaped during a jailbreak at the Black River Police lockup was captured by officers assigned to the St. Catherine North Division during a police operation on Thursday in Trial Heights, Spanish Town in the parish. He has been identified as Kenneth Stewart, who was charged for murder. According to Senior Superintendent of Police Howard Chambers, commanding officer for St. Catherine North, Stewart's baby mother was also taken into custody, accused of harboring a fugitive. Just want to remind the public that harboring a fugitive is a criminal offense, and so we are asking the public to cooperate with the police. Call the police as soon as any of these escapees are seen, SSB Chambers urged. Stewart is the second of the escaped inmates to be captured since the 8 men broke out of the lockup on June 19. The first escapee was caught at a bar in Buena Vista near Marysville in St. Elizabeth. Acting Superintendent Coleridge Minto, commanding officer for St. Elizabeth, also made an appeal to all citizens in Jamaica to share any information that you may have on the remaining escapees. You may share your information 119 Crime Stop 311 or the nearest police station. He went on to strongly advise the remaining escaped inmates to turn themselves into the police. Investigation spans across several geographic divisions, and as we continue to gather intelligence, I wish to appeal to the remaining escapees to consult with an attorney and to surrender peacefully to the police to allow the rule of law and the justice system to take its course. If not, it is just a matter of time before you all will be captured and brought to answer the charges, Superintendent Minto said. Among the other escapees who remain at large is Ann Ward Kirky Hines, charged with a quadruple murder. The other detainees who escaped are Oral Cole, 31, from Comfort Hall, Manchester, Alric Hutchinson, 38, from Brighton District, St. Elizabeth, and Dean Simpson, 34, from Turnatop, St. Elizabeth, who were all in custody, charged with robbery with aggravation. Javon Sims, 25, from Copperwood, St. James, who was being held for murder, and Demar Williams, 29, from Gravel Heights in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, who is facing a shooting with intent to charge. Sexual offenses spike in St. Mary. Commanding officer for the St. Mary Police Division, Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, says that the parish is seeing an alarming spike in sexual offenses. Addressing a recent monthly municipal meeting, Superintendent Morgan Simpson said rape accounts for a significant number of the cases. Since the start of the year to last Thursday, there were 54 cases of sexual offenses committed, of which 21 were cases of rape. For the same period last year, there were 3 cases of rape. Superintendent Morgan Simpson said the number of documented cases in the parish and the age range of those affected is distressing. The victims in the reported rape cases range in age from 6 to 61 years, while those who have been subjected to grievous sexual assault range in age from 4 to 11 years. Victims who were seriously injured during reported sexual assault incidents are as young as 7 years old up to age of 43. Superintendent Morgan Simpson is urging parents and guardians to exercise vigilance, noting that children are under threat.
Since the start of the year, January to last Thursday when I got this information, we had 54 cases of sexual offenses being committed. Now, of the 54, there are 21 rapes. And rape, last year this time, we had 3 reported rapes in the parish, and it has ballooned to 21. And it is not a good look for us. And the tragedy also is that age range is very distressing. I want to appeal to parents. I want to appeal to grandparents. I want to appeal to adults in general, responsible adults. Our children are under threat. There's buggery on the list as well, but I didn't really mention it initially. So our children, our girls are in trouble. Our little boys are in trouble because there are some perverts out there who are watching them and who are doing some really sick things. We have seen an upturn in terms of the numbers. However, we also see where the clear-up rate is going up. So it means that whilst crimes are being committed, crimes are also being solved. And I must also say that since the start of the year, we have recovered 1 shotgun, 6 pistols, 2 revolvers, 2 homemade firearms, and 31 rounds of ammunition in this space. Do not believe that we don't have guns in St. Mary.
Denial of entry to Haitian migrants done according to law, says government. The government says the recent denial of entry to 2 groups of Haitians was done in accordance with the applicable legal framework. Human rights lobby group Freedom Imaginaries and the Jamaican for Justice have criticized the government for sending back the more than 60 Haitians without due process. Information Minister Robert Morgan says arrangements were made through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade with the government in Haiti to facilitate the safe return of the migrants this week and in September. Mr. Morgan says the Jamaican government is committed to working with its Haitian counterparts to secure a sustainable approach to restoring the rule of law in Haiti, thereby reducing the need for Haitian nationals to flee their country. Immigration checks have confirmed that the captain of the vessel, which brought 35 Haitians to Long Bay, Portland on Sunday, was the same individual who had piloted the boat that arrived in September, and that other members of the group were also previously repatriated from Jamaica. Meanwhile, the group of 37 Haitians who arrived in Jamaica on July 10 and subsequently applied for asylum continue to receive support while the refugee determination process is underway. Warders demand equality under new compensation package. Chairman of the Jamaica Federation of Corrections, Arlington Turner, says correctional officers should be treated like policemen and soldiers under the new compensation package. He was speaking to the news yesterday in response to several of the penal institutions being inconvenienced because guards who showed up for work Wednesday were reluctant to perform their duties. Just before midday, he assured the news that things were back to normal. Turner said their bone of contention was over the wage negotiations under the new compensation review. We are placed in a protective service group. However, we are treated differently from the other groups within the protective service, namely the Jamaica Defense Force, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and the Jamaica Fire Brigade. So we have been having some problems, Turner said, about what triggered yesterday's actions. He added that the warders are adamant the already strained dialogue with the Ministry of Finance is dragging along and the guards are demanding some actions through the unions. He said they are now in communication with the ministry because they are aware of what has been happening in the prisons. The compensation review is the major thing that we are talking about now. We did not sign off on an agreement because we continue to have issues with what the ministry is proposing for correctional officers, Turner said. He said that the actions of the warders yesterday indicated that they are serious about holding meaningful talks. What we are expecting is another meeting because our last document sent to them was on October 6. We have not heard anything from that. The officers are frustrated, and we as a union are frustrated also because we are not getting anywhere with the ministry, Turner said. He told the news that the meetings thus far have not moved the motion. The Senior Uniform Officers Association, which represents senior officers, the University and Allied Workers Union, which also represents members of uniformed staff in corrections, and the Jamaica Federations of Corrections are all on the same page, Turner said. When we go to the ministry, we attend these meetings jointly, so no one union attends these meetings where we are, Turner said. A correctional officer told the news that the job, because of the system, creates a thin line between life and death. The water them a pressure the unions to act. Everybody disgruntled right now. Our work is important just like the police and soldiers. We deal with some very dangerous people. Water dead and dash away and nothing is solved. It's just the nature of the work, the warder who requested anonymity said. Up to press time, there was no response from the finance ministry to Wednesday's unrest.